Okay, so start over because something went wrong with my phone. But I'm getting on here to say this. You know, yesterday I got on here talking about what went on with my daughter and the triggers of parenting from a place where, you know, you from a conscious place, okay? Not from this, what they call gentle parenting, and this new wave of parenting that we see and done. So I want to say this for parents all over the world, whoever hear this. So I went up to the school. They let Brianna in just for today, you know, because she's going to have to go to the other school for 60 days. We see the little girl and her father when we come in. I had Brianna apologize to the girl for fighting on her. And I also had Brianna to apologize to the girl's father for causing his daughter problems and harm. I want to say this, and I say this in all sincerity, and I pray that, you know, my delivery be kind of sometimes, but I pray that you hear my sentiments. But this is to parents all across Black America. We have to do better in our parenting styles. I know there's this thing going on that I'm seeing happen, and every parent, every generation do it, where the things that we experience that we feel was not right, or we feel, you know, didn't give us the best experience as in our childhood. And I'm not talking about everything that went on in our childhood. We tend to try to parent in a place where we block our children from experiencing any of the negative impact from life experiences. And that is the worst thing we can do. Another thing that I'm seeing, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I just went up there and I could tell by the response from the principal and the police officers at my daughter's school and the security guards at my daughter's school. We're dealing with a generation of parents who are not parenting. Rather, they are modeling irresponsible behavior in front of their children. And when their children get held accountable for it, we are experiencing a generation that go to bats and get in confrontation with schools and with people in authority or in institutions that hold the children accountable for their behavior. Parents are getting combative and getting in conflict with these situations. And it's dangerous. And when we do this, we are ruining our children. We are depriving them of becoming adults. Hey, kinfolk. We are depriving them of being the adults that really are in position to sustain society. Because when I went up to that school and I told that principal that the next time my daughter get into some trouble, before she called me, call the police to have my daughter arrested. And she looked at me like, huh? I said, I mean it. I'm serious. I said, because if there is a child that is on this campus constantly getting into confrontation and end up fighting my kid, and this child is just, you know, cutting up with people. Hey, Tommy, Mr. Tommy, I, as a parent, I will be seeking to press charges on this kid. I said this yesterday on here. So she was like, yes, okay, yes, ma'am. And so when I was leaving out, I said, because, you know, I could tell she was shocked that I said, let me talk to the police. So I asked that the police come. The school police came up. I'm doing okay. Just talking about some things concerning parenting and what that experience is like, and our responsibility that we have as adults, as parents, and using this as a teachable moment for our community. But I called the police, you know, the campus police. They came, they brought me in the room, and I had a conversation with them. I said, look, I am a woman that is raising 3 kids, and I am very conscious of my responsibility for that. And I am mindful of how my parenting can determine what kind of things that go on in society as it relates to my children contributing to it. And one of the things that I'm not doing is I'm not raising my children to leave out of my house and harm and bring harm to anybody. And I don't expect my children to leave out my house and anybody cause harm to them. And I have this saying that I say, which is, if I could cut somebody with a machete, then I ought to be able to cut myself with a machete. And I went on to tell them, so if my daughter, Brianna Young, or any one of my kids get in a confrontation up here, because hitting somebody is, whether y'all know this or not, this is why y'all got to teach y'all children to keep their hands to themselves. See, in the state of Texas, legally, at the age of 10, they can hold you as charge you as an adult. Okay? Y'all all know, and I'm talking to black folk, that when your little son, Lamar, or Junebug, go out and have a fight at school or do anything in society, you know that your consequences, that your son, your African American, your black son, or, you know, because nobody want to be associating themselves with Africa, but your black son, African American son, you know that when the cops come and get them and process them through the court system, their punishment is going to be different from the white boy. So to me, as a parent, it behooves me that when our children misbehave, or they do something that society defines as illegal, that we will go up to the school and cut up with the school administration and defend and talk about how our children ain't wrong and what somebody did, when you know your child is in the wrong. You know this. And so I told them people, them officers, that just like I will arrest somebody's child, they need to arrest mine, because when you walk up to somebody and assault them, that is considered a misdemeanor. Okay? Let me say that again. I'm going to go and like do the Dr. Umar thing. That is a misdemeanor. That is a misdemeanor. That is a misdemeanor. What is a misdemeanor? A misdemeanor is a charge. It's a crime that you can be jailed for, or you can be fined for. In fact, did you know that spitting on somebody in the state of Texas, or just in general, is considered a Class C misdemeanor? No, you didn't know, did you? But yet our children are going to schools, getting in fights with people, and we think that, and then we have the audacity to go up to the school and cut up with the school. When you know your child disrespects you, you know your child is always into stuff and getting into stuff, and then you go up to the school and you act a donkey with the school, and then you make the whole black race look like trash. This is a reflection of us as a people, and we have been taught to look at individually, but we can't look at it like that. We like, this is like as a people. You don't see the Asians going up there fighting with the teachers and cussing them out behind their child. Like, we have to do better, parents, because when I told them my position and what I stand, and they was looking at me like, and the police officer said, "Ma'am," and I thought he said clothe you. He said, "Can we clone you?" And I was like, "What?" He clothed me, and he said, "No, clone you. Can we make more of you?" Because if we had more parents that thought the way you thought, operated the way you operate with your children, your child, and hold your children accountable the way you do, a lot of stuff would be better off. So, what are you on here this morning running your mouth for this morning, Gayla Rochelle Young? I am on here giving a charge to our community. Quit allowing us to operate in a way that entitled people are able to operate in and don't get the same consequences or punishment we get when we do it out in society after the age of 18. Hell, even after the age of 16. Because, well, this is the reality. That young man who went up into that school, that Caucasian young boy, and not the school, he went up into the church and killed all them people. I think that was Charleston, somewhere, one of them shootings that happened that was, of course, devastating. That young man, I think his name was Dylan, I believe it was. That same young man, when the police arrested him, and he had his, of course, he was armed. He had big old guns. They arrested him. He did not get killed. He did not get shot up. He did not get his kneeled on in his neck. He lived to make it out of that experience of murdering all those people. And he lived to be arrested and get some handcuffs put on him. And he lived to get in the backseat of a police car. And not only that, they stopped and they brought him Burger King for him to eat while he was being processed. I'm going to say that again. They brought him Burger King while he was being processed after murdering all those people in the church, which is a felony. Anytime you do something around a church or a school, that's automatically a felony offense, period. Point blank, bottom line. Okay? And murdered all them people. And that man, that young boy stayed alive and made it through that to go to jail and get processed. And they brought him Burger King. Now, when our black sons or our black daughters go out in society and get pulled over and unarmed, they get murdered. They get murdered. And so as a parent, to me, it is very irresponsible to not hold your children accountable for wrong behavior, criminal behavior. It is very irresponsible for us not to do whatever we have to do to redirect that behavior and put a halt and a stop to that behavior as best as we can. And then at some point, of course, there comes a time in your child's developmental stages where it's nothing you can do about the choices they make. All you can do is pray that they make the right decisions. All you can do is pray that they do things that keep them safe. But this is the truth. You are having wasted prayers if you fail to model that behavior while they was developing. I'm going to say that again. You are saying wasted prayers and you are having very delusional expectation of an outcome if you fail to hold them accountable, model the appropriate behavior in front of them. It is very insane for me as a mama to have a child that I know is disrespectful, not getting good grades, walking around Jordans, phones, being disrespectful, talking back to me, not passing school. Every time I look up, I'm getting a phone call from the school. And then when I get up to the school, I'm yelling at the teachers and telling them, why y'all messing with him? He ain't did nothing wrong. She ain't did nothing wrong. All of that. That's insane for me to do that. And then expect or want any good for my child's future. That's insane. Now, if I was a parent that, held my child accountable, called, when teachers call and the first thing my child, I didn't do it. And as a parent, I say, hey, shut up. Hold on. Because the average adult just ain't calling and lying on kids and picking on kids. You see what I'm saying? That approach. A person that operates like that and that's fighting hard and holding my child accountable, a person like that could, God help my child. I'm doing all I could do. But let's be real. We're not parenting women and men. A lot of us, not all. Let me make that clear. Because sometimes when I say things, people that it don't apply to got something to say. I'm not talking to you. So this don't apply to you. And as they say, only you throw a rock only to a pack of dogs or an animal, only the dog that got hit is going to bark. Ow! So I'm not talking to you. And I'm not talking on here to belittle, demean, or, ridicule us, but I'm talking on here to provide information so that we can do better, so that our sons and our daughters have a better chance of life. We pick and choose the wrong way to give our children a better life. Giving your kids everything that you couldn't get is not a way to give them a better life. If they don't have the behavior that deserve it. Am I saying don't get your kids? No. You got to do that. The kids got to have clothes. The kids got to have a bed. The kids got to have food. The kids got to have books. The kids I'm not saying don't get your child nothing. But if your child is getting in confrontations and fighting at school, your child don't need no iPhone. Your child need a flip phone. Just to be able to call and tell you, hey, mama, this is, that's all your child needs. If your child you getting phone calls about your kid skipping school and not attending classes, your child don't need Jordans and Nikes and hair done. Your child need a ponytail to the back with a knocker in her head. And she don't need no name brand clothes. She need, regular old loose clothes. If your child is struggling in education and failing to get good grades and they're really struggling, you don't, as the parent, and it all go back to the parent. Well, I can't, I do what I can. I can't make my child. That is bull corn. Stop that lie with us. You can, to a degree. Yes, you can. You cannot control everything they do. However, you can influence and parent in a way that will shape the decisions they make. Yes, you can. You can increase the chances of them making a better decision, and you can increase the chances of them making a wrong decision. That is on the parent. Especially, I'm not talking about a parent who got grown children. Duh. I'm talking about a parent who got a little kid. I'm talking about a parent who got a elementary student, what they call that, junior high and high school student. Because all you got is till 18 to make an impact on their life. Hey, cousin, all you got is having till 18 to make an impact on their life, because it is at that time where when you say, I can't make my kids do nothing, that's when that applies, because you can't at 18. Especially when your child get grown and they move out, you can't make them do nothing. At that time, that's when you got to stand on prayer. At that time, that's when you got to depend and trust God. Like, Lord, I done did everything you told me to do. I done diligently corrected them. I was consistent with them. I nurtured them. I provided for them. I did everything I could do to give them a safe environment. We are wanting and expecting our children to have something, and we as parents ain't even doing our part to ensure that. You don't want nobody to correct your child at school, and you able to go up there and cut up with them, but you ain't even, as a parent, doing everything you could do to make sure your children obey and respect you. Help me make it make sense. We need therapy. Get your kids in therapy. If your child is fighting all the time, FYI, parents, go and find and get that child some therapy. Find out what's going on. If your child is being combative, if your child is angry, is your child agitated all the time, go find out and get the root of it. And a lot of times there's things that we could just take accountability for and just confess to our children and become aware of something and then repent for it and then turn around and do different. That's what true repentance is. Repentance ain't, oh God, forgive me, acknowledging what you did. Repentance is acknowledging it, and then that thing hurt you so bad that you don't even want to make that mistake. Repentance is when you recognize an error and you say, I actually learned something and I'm not doing that again. I learned that don't benefit me. A lot of times that's all you got to do. Like, I had a real conversation with my daughter yesterday. Like, I know you hurting. I know that you long to have the affection of a man, which would have been your father, and you don't get it. You don't experience that. Even when you was with your father, that's not what you experienced. I get that. I get that you had some experiences that made you feel like you was nothing. I'm not going to go into detail what those experiences was right here, right now. And it made you feel as though you were nothing. Parents, some of our children, and y'all know this, because some of us as mamas have let these men come into our homes and we done got in relationships with them and they have molested our children. They have violated little girls. They have did little things. Family members have violated little boys and little girls. Like, we know this. We know this for some of us. And when children experience that, they feel so I don't know what that feeling is. But I do know what it feels like to be neglected and to not be loved, or to feel like you haven't been loved or not be loved properly. And I have experienced, because of that, giving my body to people that didn't value it, and what that, how that felt, not good. But children who experience that, that's pain right there. And that is the kind of pain where somebody got to come along and put it on the forefront and say, look, I know this happened to you. And if we the mamas and it happened on our watch, we going to have to take some accountability for that. If you need support in that, like, get a trusted friend, find somebody in the family, get a therapist to help you with sitting in that truth, that we failed to make the right choices to keep our child from being hurt and molested or something like that. And sometimes when that happened to our children, it more than likely happened to us sometimes. And so you might need some support in sitting in that too. Again, triggers, right? But we got to acknowledge these things. And when we see our kids cutting up, we have to realize that that's a symptom of something that's really bothering them in their soul and in their heart and in their mind. And you, as the parent, we have a responsibility what that thing is. Yeah, that's our responsibility. And get that support. But mothers, I don't know, because when I went up to this school today, I could tell like my position and how I am. They like, girl, yeah, lady, we need more of you. When I went up to the school the day when I got that phone call and I had to go through the metal detectors, and that security guard said, when I looked in your purse and I seen that big old brown belt, she said, I said to myself, oh yeah, this the kind of mamas we need. And when I left that office, they said that my daughter was like walking behind the girl, kind of taunting her. So you know what I did when we left that office? I made that ass walk in front of me. And I taunted her with that damn belt. See what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Y'all know our kids. Y'all know. Come on now. We cannot coddle and overlook or defend the behavior that we know is destructive. That is neglect, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this about parenting, but physical abuse is not the only kind of abuse when it comes to parenting, okay? Let me help y'all with something. Failing to be engaged in your child's life is neglect, and that's criminal. It's civil, but it's a violation. It's a law. It falls into child abuse and neglect. Failing to get involved and be in your child business, failing to not knowing what is going on with your child, that is neglect, y'all. Come on, mamas. Come on, daddies. We got to do better, because we ain't in that time no more. They are going into our children's homes who are suffering from stuff in their mind because they went so long with obviously poor parenting and no help, that now they struggling with it as an adult, and they getting their head blown off. They shot that girl in the head, Sonya Massey, whatever her name is. What's that boy, Grant, at Fruitvale? That boy was minding his business. That boy was unarmed with his back, and they murdered that boy. And these are individuals who were not posing a threat to nobody. This is what's being done to our sons and our daughters that don't pose a threat to nobody. What do you think will happen to a young black boy or girl who is cutting up and acting a donkey? What you think gonna happen with them when they get pulled over? Hey, Vernetta. So parents, neglecting to develop your child, neglecting to make them responsible, that fall under child abuse and child neglect. Stop. We have to teach and this is another thing. We take care of our kids and give them everything, provide everything, and then when they become a adult and can't provide for themselves, we like, they need to get a job. Well, you never taught them responsibility. And then all of a sudden, when they get 21, now you got to be grown. Well, you got to prepare a child for that. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. You know how you prepare a child for that? Give them chores. Give them chores. Chores build up confidence in a child. Chores teach a child that they can fix something, do something. It give them a sense of responsibility. You don't even let your children and make your children clean their room or take out trash every day. And they spend their whole life getting their clothes provided, food provided, roof provided, and then all of a sudden one day they grown and you grown now, so I gotta cut you off. And they like, what the? They don't know how to do nothing. So parents, whether we want to admit this or not, that's on us. And if we done that, then we need to go have that real conversation like, hey, daughter, I failed you in this area. And I thought I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. But whatever I was thinking and whatever caused me to do that, what I see is that it was counterproductive for you. And so I apologize. But what you have to do and what I need to do is we have to figure out a way to help you develop being responsible and taking care of yourself. There is no such thing of a child who become older and just start dealing with issues that they deal with as an adult. And you be like, I don't know why they doing that. I don't know why they acting like that. I don't know why he always getting in trouble. I don't know why he did. I don't know why I don't know why. And it's consistent. That's a pattern that has been being developed and in the works since childhood. A person who go around fighting people every day in high school was a kid in elementary you was always getting a phone call on. Huh? It didn't just start nowhere, baby. Let's stop doing that. So I don't know what kind of parenting is going on. Well, I know what kind of parenting is going on. It ain't none. And I also know what is causing us as parents to be so, not engaged. We got our own traumas and stuff that we, done learned how to attach to things that to help us deflect. But we got to deal with it because y'all know that this new administration that's coming in, are you aware of the policies? Do y'all know what policies are on the books right now that's being ushered in? Do y'all know? Do y'all know that one of the policies is that they're going for the death penalty for people who get caught selling drugs? Do you know that? Who are drug dealers in the black community? I'll tell you. Or how did it start? A individual who has not been taught the value of hard work and earning honest money. They will then go probably sell dope because it pays more and they got, stuff that need to be done and want to do. That's how that go. Have you guys paid attention to the workforce industry right now for the generation that exists? Are you guys seeing what is happening? There is an issue in the workforce industry. These young people do not want to work. They get a job, they work for a little while, and they quit. I'm seeing it. Some of them are even having their parents call to say they can't come in. What parent is calling for her child that got a job and saying my child can't come in. That is not how you, when my child had to miss work because she wasn't feeling good, I made her call and say, this is what's going on with me. I'm not going to be able to come. And you know what I made her do? I didn't let her wait 5 minutes before her shift. Huh? When she woke up and said, Mama, I'm feeling this sharp pain, and she let me know she wasn't feeling good, and she said that I don't feel like I could work. I said, okay, her shift was 8, like way later in the day. I said, okay, now you know that's how you feel. You need to call that job right now and let them know, because they need time to find somebody to come work your shift. That's it. So all of these things are a reflection of us parents. And we got to do better. Okay. I just want to get on here and say that. I'm about to go into the store. I got to get some stuff. And then I'm about to go home and do a cleanse on me. I'm about to take some stuff and I'm going to be in the house all day. But I love y'all. I do. I know sometimes the way I say it probably offensive. And you know what I'm noticing? Because I've been here. I've experienced this. When I'm told something that's truthful, and sometimes it come out harsh, I reject it because it said ugly or it offended me. And what I'm going to say to that is this, because I did it. When I would feel my spirit riling up like not wanting to receive it, I would reflect and say, God, if it's anything truth about what was said to me that I'm offended about, please show it to me. And when you show it to me, please help me to receive it and not be stuck on me being offended. So black people, we behind. We don't have equity. There's no equity for us. Okay? So we got to be quick. We got to do this. We got to do this work fast. Come on. We do. And parents, we got to do better. We really do. We really do. We really do. Our children, I'm telling y'all, if we don't change the way we view parenting, we already don't, we done already lost so much. But it's not going to be good for those who don't catch on. It's going to be good for those who get it and make it through. But those that don't get it, it ain't going to be good. So but please, let's do better with holding them accountable. Stop, the Bible say train the child up in the way they should go. And the Bible also say diligently. Y'all know what diligently mean? That mean every time, consistently. So I don't, like with my kids, my oldest one, they don't do it because they older. But Malachi, he's still kind of. So I'll give you an example. And then I'm about to get off. I teach my children how to govern themselves in environments. The way you conduct yourself in the comfort of your home is not how you conduct yourself in school or at work, right? The way that you behave and move in the house is not the same way you will move outside. What are you saying? When my son is running through the house and jumping around, every time, not sometime, every time, I say, hey, are you outside or inside? I'm inside. Okay, is inside behavior the same as outside behavior? No, ma'am. I say, is that inside behavior you have going on or outside behavior? Outside. Okay, so switch it to indoor behavior. God, like that? Yeah, like that. Because it started in the home. See, if my son think he could jump all over the place, jump on people's couches in my house, then what about when we go to go to somebody else's house? Kids don't know when something is okay and when it's not. You have to help them identify and learn those things. If he's able to do that in the house, he's going to have trouble sitting in his seat in class. You see what I'm saying? And that's on me to teach him and develop that. And I tell Malachi quick, if he get the, all jump, just what kids do is normal. But the average person would be like, and say that, oh, girl, that's just kids. Let them be free. That, my mind, the way I think, and the way all parents, we all need to think can this behavior lead to something that can have a negative impact on my child? And let that be your answer. If it's yes, then that means you need to get in and help guide that and shape that. It ain't nothing wrong with a kid having fun. My son's supposed to have fun. He had fun. But it's a time and it's a place. That's outside. He can have fun in the house. They got things you could do in the house that's fun, called board games, video games, but the house ain't designed to be running up and down the stairs, jumping down the stairs, and I'm renting. So I don't need you jumping off the stairs and falling into a wall and putting a hole in. See what I'm saying? Our minds have to see beyond the now and look into our children's future and see if this behavior, is this behavior appropriate for adulthood? Is this behavior appropriate for going to school? Is this a behavior appropriate for being on a job? Is this behavior appropriate, or is this behavior harmful to where the police would have to intervene and step in and do something? That's what you ask yourself. And if it is yes, then you need to alter and redirect that behavior by putting in some intervention and, some actionable items. And if you need help with that, I'm a kid whisperer, okay? Call me, inbox me. Y'all have any issues with helping a child, inbox me. I don't mind talking to you, giving you experiences and information and tools. I've raised over 22 kids, 20-something kids in the foster care system, and every last one, just about, was not basic needs. They were either moderate or intense level kids. And every child, even I had two that and when I say I couldn't reach, meaning I was able to help them change their behavior to a certain level, and they stayed on that plateau and they couldn't go no further. That was only two kids. And one of them was my son, who's no longer with me, that, that will always be in my heart. That me and him, our life didn't stay together. But I gave that all I got. And I know one thing, I put some good seeds in that ground. So whenever he ready to let God be God in his life, he gonna have the foundation and he gonna have the tools. It's in them. I know that. I'm telling y'all. If y'all have you need some behavior modifications, you need some tools, call me, inbox me. I don't mind. I would, that's my prayer. Lord, help me to be a tool and a vessel to help and heal the traumas in my community, in my people. My people. I'm willing to help anybody. I don't care what nationality you are, what ethnicity you are. I don't care. But I'm really, really concerned about my people. Because ain't nobody else concerned about us. We ain't even concerned about us. You know what I'm saying? So if you need that, I have my associates is in child care development. I can help you. You ain't got as a mama, as a woman, as a parent, you ain't got to walk through that thing by alone. I understand your plight. I do. I know I sound sometimes harsh, like, but no, I understand our barriers. I understand our deficits. I understand our vulnerabilities. I have compassion for that. And you will be seen with me. I understand being a mama who was a little girl who was neglected and had to grow up as a woman just wanting to be loved. I understand that. And I also understand that when you became a mother, that wounded little girl didn't get healed because you became a mama. What it meant now is that not only do you got to deal with that stuff and carry that, now you got to be responsible for this whole life right here, this whole other universe. I get that. I have compassion for that. So anybody need help, call me, inbox me. Hey, my kid, I'm dealing with this in my kid. You know what I'm saying? Inbox me. I got some advice. You could try it. If it work, it work. If it don't, we could figure out what didn't work, and we could figure out what to do next, because this is the thing. And I learned this off of a lot of my parenting, though. I gotta give it, it is definitely God, but being with my Aunt Puddin', hey, let me tell you, my Aunt Puddin', when it came to parenting, the wisdom, my God, the wisdom my Aunt Puddin' had when it came to being a mother, when it came to parenting, when it came to guiding, when it came to understanding the child, like, I'm telling you, that lady, she imparted in me. You hear me? She imparted in me. And I am benefiting from her wisdom. I am. And she was a single mama. My auntie lost her husband as she was a woman, but a young woman. She was in her 20s. 3 kids. And her husband died of an aneurysm. And you know what she told me? She said when she lost her husband, she was so scared. She had 2 boys and a daughter. And both of them are exceptional adults. And my cousin who have kids, I mean, even my cousin Mary, like, they exceptional adults and have exceptional kids. And, like, her loins, like my Aunt Puddin', her, like what came from her loins, nobody's perfect. You know, of course, my cousins and we humans, we all have, you know, flaws and, you know, frailness from humanity, but they're good people. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, she did that. And she told me, she said, the night that I guess, of like my uncle's burial or something, I guess like real early on when he passed, you know, in her experience, in her time with God and crying out to him, as things began to get really sink in about what life was moving forward for her going to be, what it was going to be. She said that she cried to God, and God told her, because she cried to God and asked God, like, I need you to help me because I don't know what I'm doing. That's one thing she taught me. Ask God for help. Admit that you don't know what you're doing. Mamas, this is what we got to do. Fathers, this is what we got to do. And I'm going to start talking to you daddies, because you daddies y'all got to get it together. Okay? We've been holding this down by ourselves all these years. It's time y'all get y'all and step up to those who it applied to. But anyway, she admitted to God that she didn't know what she was doing. She needed his help and his guidance. That was one. Two, she said God told her God told her to install the fear of God in them. That's what she said. And she said that she knew that in order to get, this the truth, in order to get them to become human beings that feared God or feared, you know, harming God's creation, you know, because really, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But she said she understood that the first thing that they had to fear and respect was her. She said because she knew that one day, because my Aunt Puddin', it was a little bitty woman, okay? But do not get it twisted. She might have been little in size, but baby that thing was packing. You didn't want to mess with it. I'm telling you. You hear me? Anybody that know my Aunt Puddin', they know what time it is, okay? I done seen her with thugs in the neighborhood, you know, and she ain't got no problem with, hey, and guess what? It was love. Her correction, her guidance, you knew even if she roasted your ass. Because she will, you know, she was pudding shit. But even when she checked you, even when she corrected you, and it was blunt and it was rough, and and that thing was gonna cut, baby. But you know what? You knew it was for your good, and you knew that she loved you. And then after she chopped your ass all up, guess what she'll do? Just like God, come back and put you back together again and just shower you. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I miss them elders and my Nana too. You know what she taught me? I learned off of her. Unconditional love. I didn't learn discipline off of my grandmother. My Nana never whooped me. I never got, you know, when I got with my Aunt Puddin', I was older, but Nana had a different kind of love, which all of these play elements in me, you know, and my Aunt Minnie. My Aunt Minnie too, you know, she was California version of an Aunt Puddin'. Like, Aunt Minnie would get you like, hey, I'm blessed. So those elders in your life, the mothers and the fathers, those elders, reflect on the things that they did that did do you some good, and keep those things. Keep those things. I keep and I give, and I keep those things that I learned off of my elders, my Nana, my Aunt Puddin', my Aunt Minnie. Aunt Minnie, shoot, I love vegetables now. You is not getting off an Aunt Minnie table without eating your damn vegetables. You know how many, a lot of our kids, and I'm really going to go, because I said I was, and I did not leave yet, because I'm running my mouth. And stuff is just coming to me. But one of the things that I'm seeing, another issue with parenting, is our letting kids determine and tell us what they will and will not eat. I'm going to tell you the problem with that. And this also falls under neglect. And neglect is a criminal, civil. It goes under civil, but it could be a criminal charge. Okay? So when, as a parent, we are responsible to provide the nutrition and we are responsible for the development, the total development of our children. Okay? This for the nutrition thing. Your child needs certain nutrients, certain vitamins, certain, all kind of, things, nutrients. Every child needs certain nutrients. Every adult needs certain nutrients for the body to develop, for the body to be healthy, and for the body to thrive. And when we as parents allow our children to just eat what they like, my son, people don't like this, but my son, when it come to junk food like the pizzas, that stuff that ain't no good, he ain't no problem with that. But when it comes to stuff that is healthy and nutritional for you, he really don't want to eat it. So, like my Aunt Puddin' used to make us eat our vegetables. And now, as an adult, I love vegetables and I eat vegetables. But with my kids, with my son Malachi, I'll put vegetables on his plate. And I don't put a lot because I know he not into them, but I make him eat some. Now I'll put a portion, and I'll say, you don't have to eat it all, but you got to eat some. And then this is his response, all of that. And so this is my response, a threat, and it works. And I say, you can either eat it with an ass whooping, or you can eat it without an ass whooping. Which one you want to do? And he say, without. And then I'll divide the amount that he have, like split it down the middle, and I'll push it to the side, and I say, just eat that amount. I don't make him eat it all, but I make him eat some. And so what is happening is, even though he don't like it, he's building his tolerance for it. Because in life, there are certain things that you're going to have to eat or consume that you don't like. If you a adult and you sick and you got chemo or whatever, you're going to take some medicine that you're not going to like. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be letting these kids tell us they ain't going to eat this and then now with that, you got some kids, like for instance, that's autistic. You may deal with a sensory thing, because with kids that's autistic and have sensory touch issues, now you're gonna have to make some modifications there and do some, discovery. But your kids gotta eat vegetables, okay? Kids can't live off no damn Hot Pockets and microwavable food, okay? Like, I do my nights where I'm like, hey, you know, y'all do y'all pizza rolls. And they love those nights. But no, you gonna eat some vegetables? You know what I'm saying? So we just got to do better. And that is on us. That ain't parents. And to not do that, I know it don't seem like this, but that is called neglect. And that is criminal. Because if your child go without the nutrients it need, what'll happen is it could lead to a medical problem. And then when your ass take your child to the doctor and they get to asking all these questions and running all these tests, and then they get to calling CPS on your ass because your child is in there malnutrition, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's what they do to us. They don't do it to others, them other ones like that. But when it come to us, oh yeah, they will. So I'm telling us this so we can do better to keep them people out our life and out our children's life and help our children to be better. But I love y'all and I'm really about to go. Been on here too damn long.